Critical thinking is a topic that has come to the fore in the education space and organizations over the last 20 years or so. And for about the last 10 years, I've been teaching a critical thinking skills program. So I've been able um, to delve into this topic, important topic, especially in the modern techno-industrial world when so much information is coming at us. There's advocacy, there's advice, coming at us, and how do we then differentiate and discern whether what's being told to us is 100% true or not, whether somebody has a vested interest in saying what they're saying, even if it's somebody with somebody who's an expert, somebody who has authority. Is there an agenda behind what they're saying? If you follow the money, is there a trail there? So all of those things, especially if it's something that's important to my life, my livelihood, my health and well-being, if somebody's advocating something, I need to step back and then think critically about it. So what is critical thinking? Critical thinking is then the ability to stop my thought process and use a reasoning process to see whether it makes logical, rational sense for one thing. And then I have to also go back to my conditioned biases, perhaps. I mean, what am I used to in becoming reflective? And is it creating what's called a confirmation bias? I agree with it naturally because my conditioning is going along with whatever is being is being told rather. So it is then also an intuitive practice. So the critical thinking process is a very simple process. It's to stop the thought process. So when you stop the thought process, then that's where I bring in the mindfulness practice here, because for me, whenever that's something is being told that is important, I am able to then stop the thought process by taking a deep breath and saying observe. Saying observe. So what I'm doing is I'm immediately creating the space, moving away from the past. The past has emotion, past has biases, past has all kinds of other influences. Also my emotion, because there are sensory impacts. So when I take that deep breath and stop my thought process, I stop my senses, I gain the space. So that enables me the ability to look at this that is being told to me, even by an expert, even by somebody of authority, to see whether what he or she or they are saying is makes sense to me. So, for instance, if somebody says, an expert says, and if you're a house owner, somebody says that, okay, the economy is falling apart, house prices are going to fall. If you own a property, you better start selling now and put the money in the bank. So let's deconstruct that for a moment. So whenever somebody says the economy is going to fall, it's a fairly general statement, isn't it? But you can then turn it into what's called an issue statement, where you can ask it as a question: is the economy failing? So when you ask that kind of question, you can then create an argument between a pro and a con. So you can do a two-column argument. Yes, it's failing. No, it's not failing. And then do my own research to see whether whatever that is being said is true or not, and then figure it out by taking responsibility for myself. So like the mindfulness practice, critical thinking process is also a process about taking responsibility for myself. So um, so again, I go back to an ancient 20th century philosopher, Bertrand Russell, in what he said about critical thinking. He said, it doesn't matter who, it might be somebody of authority, you need to then question assumptions, especially when an authority or an expert says that they have captured the whole truth. We need to be able to discern to see whether what is being told is misguiding. So discerning is about then stopping the thought process and becoming mindful. We need to then also look at my own biases, the conditioned biases. So I need to stop my thought process to do that. So overall, then I think it's really important for us nowadays, especially when so much is coming at us, to be able to stop and think about whatever we are hearing, to make our own minds up by taking personal responsibility.